This is ET. Today's subject is popular food supplements. Supplements to enhance athletic performance, hypertrophy, that's muscle growth, endurance, and overall health. Do not confuse these supplements with androgenic hormones, which I've covered already. I'm talking about food. For example, protein, some other supplements found in nature, not manufactured in a laboratory. One of the first promoted and most ubiquitous supplements is protein, comprised of bundled amino acids. Those are nitrogenous organic compounds that make up muscle and other parts of the body. Supplemental proteins are familiar and considered important to athletes and bodybuilders because they've been so heavily advertised. First in magazines, once the primary source of information for the layman. The magazine publishers found that easily produced and inexpensive powdered proteins increased their profits, and so they promoted them as necessary for athletic performance and muscle gain. So from the very start, these publishers had a financial interest beyond any beneficial effect for the readers. The quality of at least the early protein supplements is suspect. Jim Murray wrote a book in, I think it was 56, called Weight Training in Athletics, and it resulted in weight training being incorporated by coaches and athletes and trainers. Before that, anybody who touched a weight was told that it would make him muscle-bound. Anyway, Jim Murray was present years back at the York Barbell Company, and he witnessed the CEO, Bob Hoffman, standing over a fiber drum. The drum was half full of very fine ground soy powder, and Hoffman was stirring it up with a canoe paddle. Hoffman had competed in canoe racing, and he stored his paddles and canoes on rafters of his machine shop where he had the protein mix. Then Murray saw Hoffman scoop Hershey's chocolate into the mix. Then he'd dip his fingers into that mix and taste it. Then he scooped more chocolate into the drum, and the result was Hoffman's original high protein, that was spelled with 2 E's. It turns out that Hoffman was motivated by Irvin Johnson's very profitable high protein, and it was sold through Strength and Health magazine, which was published by Hoffman. But then Bob banned Johnson's product from his magazine and began advertising his low-quality but very profitable soy protein. And it had real advantages when you consider that Hoffman was previously making money manufacturing, packing, and shipping very heavy and less profitable barbells. So that, in a nutshell, explains why so many of us back then were suckered out of our hard-earned money. The fact is, protein powders are not necessary if a person has access to wholesome food. Eggs, milk products, meat and fish, especially organ meat, all of these contain the more assimilable and balanced amino acids. The only advantage to protein supplements is convenience, because you can easily swallow down a few tablespoons with liquid. But boiled eggs, a can of sardines, beef liver turns out to be just as easy, far more nutritious, and in the long run, less expensive. In a nutshell, here's what you need to know about protein. A human being requires 9 essential amino acids. Isoleucine, leucine, I'm drawing from memory here, methionine. I'll put a list up here. And these amino acids cannot be made in the body. They have to come from food. There are non-essential amino acids. These can be produced by the body, and they include, again from memory, tyrosine, arginine, what else? Alanine. Again, I'll put a list up. Then there are the conditional amino acids. These are non-essential except during time of illness and stress. And that stress could come from very heavy exercise. Arginine, I can't remember the rest. Again, I'll post them. There were and are other supplements that, generally speaking, do help to promote overall health, strength, and muscle gains. And here are a few that ET considers important. Vitamin D, D3 probably the best for several reasons. Vitamin D is necessary for most people who, on average, are deficient in whatever country, especially if people have darker skin, and this includes people who are normally white but very tanned, or living in northern latitudes, whatever, unable to get enough sunshine. The best sources are, of course, sunshine, cod liver oil, and pills. ET takes, and I'm not recommending for anybody, but ET takes 5,000 internal units per day. The idea, for ET at least, is to get to 70 nmol, or nanomoles, per liter. And ET has not achieved that yet, by the way. And that's generally recommended as an ideal. But the experts differ. Check with your doctor, your dietitian. Another supplement ET likes, creatine monohydrate. I take it only during times of exercise, and just between you and me, exercise has not been part of my routine for about 5 months. Creatine has been demonstrated in several studies to promote strength gains and hypertrophy. ET will tell you that, at least for him at age 77, it still works. Another supplement, cod liver oil, very rich in vitamin D, probably other nutrients we don't know about, certainly good for omega-3 oils. Another supplement, wheat germ oil. This used to be heavily advertised in the 1950s and 1960s. Very rich in vitamin E, perhaps other nutrients too. Although wheatgrass juice is even more nutritious, it also contains vitamin E, and if you grow your own, it will cost less. Another supplement, dried beet powder, or, if you want, simple greens that you might juice. These have been shown in several studies to dramatically increase oxygen efficiency, which will lead to a better workout, a greater pump in your muscles. Some of you may be familiar with Vince Jaronda, the iron guru from the 1960s and 70s. He reported about an Army study that used mice put into 3 groups, and one was given desiccated liver, the other brewer's yeast, and the third was given just regular B vitamins. Each group was put into a tank of water and left to swim. The first to run out of energy was the B vitamin group. Second, the brewer's yeast group. But the mice that had ingested desiccated liver kept on swimming. They had to stop the test because everybody had to go home. Another supplement, vitamin C, absorbic acid, not citric acid, absorbic acid. Here's a little history. Back in 35, the explorer Cartier was in Canada near roughly where Montreal is today, along the St. Lawrence River. His crew had scurvy. This was a problem on any seafarers of the day. He noticed that the Indians had a cure for scurvy. I'm drawing again from memory. I think they called it annetta. And we're not sure what annetta was, but apparently it was something found in the bark of trees, maybe needles, whatever. It had a very bad taste, but it was very rich in vitamin C. Cartier noticed that his men began to recover in about 8 days. He went back to Europe. Nobody paid any attention. until many decades, in fact centuries later. Dr. James Lind of the English Royal Navy published a paper that detailed something in certain fruits, citrus in particular, that cured scurvy. But it will not be until 1795 that the English Navy ordered that lemons and limes be put onto ships. Well, that's it. You might have additions to this list. If you do, put them in the comment section below this video. This is E.T. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit like. If you did not, hit dislike. Whatever, do subscribe. Thank you.